When building an application, we are all familiar with the pattern of writing a little code, then restarting our application to inspect the changes. You've seen the pattern throughout this course and have probably done it tens of thousands of times during the course of your career as a developer. Luckily, Spring Boot provides an automatic restart capability as part of its developer tools. Developers can choose to have their applications restart automatically whenever a file on their class path changes. This creates a faster feedback loop and eliminates another task for the developer. To see this feature in action, let's go ahead and create a new Spring Starter project, and we're going to name this project Spring-Boot-Tools, and then we'll make sure that the artifact ID matches the project name, and then hit Next. Now for this project, we're going to include the web dependency as well as the DevTools dependency. With those two dependencies selected, I'm going to go ahead and hit Finish, and STS will begin to build out our new project. The first thing that we'll do within this project is open up our Spring Boot Tools application class, and we're going to add the REST controller annotation to this class. So we'll go ahead, add the annotation, and then import that type. And then with the type imported, we're going to add a request mapping to the root of our class path, and we're going to attach that mapping to a method that returns a string, and we'll name that method hello, and this is simply going to be a nice little hello world method that returns the string from our REST controller. Okay, so nothing fancy here. Let's go ahead and save our class. And now we're going to right click on the class within the Package Explorer. We're going to go to Run As and then Java Application. This will start our application and we can watch it start within our console window. And we see that it's started, so now we can go to a browser and we get our Hello World output. Now let's return to our STS IDE, and we're going to pull up our console window a little bit because I want you to see what happens. So we have loaded our app. It's currently up and running and servicing requests. Let's go ahead and make a little change to the app though. Let's say, hello Spring users. This is automatic reloading. So we'll go ahead and add this output. Now, as soon as I save this class, what is going to happen is STS, or Eclipse in the background, is going to compile the class and add it to our class path. Now, with Spring Boot's automatic reloading, it is monitoring our class path to look for any changes. Once it detects that change, it's going to restart our application, making our changes available to the developer for testing. So I'm going to go ahead and I will save. And now let's watch the console. See, it just kicked off and now it's reloading our application. And I can just go over to the browser, and if I navigate to localhost 8080 once again, we see that we get our new message. So I didn't have to restart my application. Spring Boot did that automatically for me. This is a very handy feature if you're doing development and making constant changes. Some developers may not wish to have this functionality enabled. If you would like to disable automatic reloading, it's pretty simple. Just go to Source Main Resources and click on your application.properties file. And now you can set the spring.devtools.restart.enabled property, and it accepts a Boolean value, so I'm just going to go ahead and set it to false. Now you'll notice that we did have automatic reloading on prior, so it picked up that change on our class path and did reload. So let's go ahead and stop the application, and I'll clear our console. And now we're going to restart it as a Java application, and we'll go back to our class once we're sure everything is reloaded. So at this point, we have reloaded, and now let's make a change and see what happens. So let's say, hello Spring users, this is automatic reloading disabled. And we'll go ahead and save that change. And now you'll notice that we do not restart the application. And if I were to navigate to localhost 8080, I get the same message. I don't get the newly updated message. In order to get my most recent code changes, I would have to restart the application. So if you would like to disable this feature, that is also an option. So in this lesson, we took a look at how to automatically restart our applications for changes that we make that wind up on our class path. And this saves us time and we're not constantly reloading the application while doing development work.